Hi, my love. Welcome to the Godly Femme podcast. My name is Chumoke Win, and here we discuss all things Christian hypergamy, leveling up, and godly femininity. Check us out at godlyfemme.com. So, how much should a man provide? Now, I don't want you to get this impression that you have to marry a millionaire in order to be hypergamous, even to be a stay-at-home wife, homemaker, a stay-at-home mom. You don't need to marry someone who's a millionaire. But I do think that there's some necessary things that a man should provide in order for you to have the rest and the security within marriage that you need as a woman, as you get older, as you have children, as you want to raise kids, you want to keep the home. So I do think that there's some things that a man has to be able to provide. Now, the way I want you to think about this is when it comes to Christian hypergamy, consider your husband's salary or whatever he's bringing home as the base pay, and whatever, if you bring anything home, is commission. There's this idea that because, you are, hypergamous, like you don't make any money, you don't touch money, you're financially illiterate. You don't have to be dumb and broke to be hypergamous. I keep telling these young women this. There's a difference between being a trad wife and a biblical wife, okay? This idea that women just don't work and they live a life of leisure is not biblical, all right? Everybody's supposed to work. Heck, Eve was created to help Adam work in the garden, all right? So, even when we come to the Proverbs 31 woman, she made money. There are women in the Bible who made money. Lydia in the New Testament, she was a dealer of purple. And it's implied, it doesn't say explicitly, but I think it's implied that she was single. Right now, I don't know why she is. I don't know how she came into this money, but purple was very expensive back then. So she was making a lot of money and she had her own home. I don't know why. I don't know if she was a widow. The Bible doesn't say. I just know that it's not a sin for a woman to make money, and we shouldn't push this type of image that women don't do anything. But in the Word of God, it is implied that as a woman, your first marching orders are your family and your home. All right. And women are not able to raise godly children. They're not able to keep the home like Titus 2 encourages young women to do, simply because they have the burden of financial responsibility. That's the issue. So when you are dating and vetting men and let's say you want to be hypergamous, there's a few things that a man should provide. One, shelter. Okay. So does this man have his own place? Now, shelter doesn't necessarily mean a 5-6 bedroom house in the Hamptons, or not Hamptons, in Beverly Hills, okay? It's just, can he provide a sense of shelter? This could even just be rent. Does he have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment, right? And I know for some of you women, they're like, that's not enough to raise 10 kids. Okay, but still, the whole point is that he has a space. You have to get creative when it comes to hypergamy, because again, a lot of women are thinking, okay, I need to marry a millionaire. No, you just have to be financially savvy, resourceful, okay, industrious. But women don't want to do that in this day and age, and that's where the conflict is. Not everyone is going to marry a millionaire, and you shouldn't even expect that as a woman, because some of us are like, let's be honest, our pedigree is not millionaire, right? Some women, their pedigree is barely middle class. So let's be grounded, okay? Let's be grounded. Let's be realistic. You might have to pick up some skills that will help you to be able to stretch a dollar, like canning and sewing and homesteading, things of that nature, just to cut down costs. This is how, most white women were doing it. The white women that you see who are like biblical womanhood and homeschooling, homesteading, homemaking. This is the reason why I revamped Godly Femme, because that type of imagery it doesn't resonate with urban women, with Black women, urban women, women of lower socioeconomic status. So it seems very not accessible, but it doesn't mean that this is not how we should, vet men and the type of vision for our lives we should aspire to. But let me get back to what men are supposed to, not supposed to, but ideally provide. So like I said, shelter. Can he provide for himself shelter? If you are dating a man who is living in his mama's basement, I mean, it's good if a man has his own place. Food, water, food and water to be able to pay for groceries. Now, food and water, you can, again, get some skills, learn how to cook, but he should be able to provide money for groceries. Shelter, food, water. Okay, and then I would say, clothing. But we're not talking about Gucci, Louis Vuitton, things like that, but just basic clothes on your back and on his subsequent children's backs. And I would say this is a bonus, but I do think this is very important, especially in the United States, if he can provide healthcare. Healthcare is not free in the US, and it is super expensive to even just to have a child. Like, I had my first kid, and again, thank God my husband has insurance, but even with insurance, we had to come out of pocket thousands of dollars just to have one child, okay? And this was no C-section, like everything was normal vaginal delivery. So, a man should be able to at least cover insurance, because what if something happens to you, you need to go to the ER, right? A man should be able to cover insurance. Now, that's the base. If he covers anything past that, that's a luxury, but it's not necessarily his duty and responsibility. So for example, going on vacation every month, maybe that's something you want to do, but that doesn't mean that he is like he needs to do that, if that makes sense. Like that's not one of his requirements, right? As far as to be able to provide for a family is not to go on vacation every single month. Now, if you are bringing in something home, maybe you are working part-time, you're doing work from home, maybe you have a business, then okay, sure, not yours, because it's both of your money, because you guys are in one household, one flesh, but whatever you're bringing into the family, I do think that, again, that's commission. That's for the luxury things. That's for, we want to go on vacation. We want a new this. We want a new that. Whatever it is that you may want that your husband may not be able to provide, well, then sure, you can do that. But I do believe that, again, what's more wise is if you're looking at your salary as commission and not living off of two incomes. Because if you're living off of two incomes, the moment that you want to step away for whatever reason, you want to, hey, I want to raise kids now, or I need my maternity leave, or I want to work less hours because I want to be present for our children, then what? Then your lifestyle starts to become extremely altered because you were living on two incomes. So I think it's wiser that you live on your husband's income. Let your husband provide clothing, shelter, food, water, and hopefully insurance. And then if you wanted to bring home anything, maybe you wanted to do some hair, you wanted to braid some hair on the side, you wanted to have a small business on the side, then that could be commission, but that's not necessarily what you both are living on. So hopefully this gave some understanding. Let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Godly Femme podcast. If you would like more help in your femininity journey, make sure that you do sign up for our 7-day Godly Femininity Challenge, and also that you join our free Facebook mentorship group, Black Hypergamous Christian Women. All the details are in the description.